party in
Everybody's
here.
dancing.
Let's do this.
I'm looking good for the press. If you listen to my show, you won't be depressed. Listen to the end and we can be friends. If you're really smart, you'll do what Zoey says. Hey!
Wow. Oh my gosh. You know, everybody listens to a podcast every once in a while, and the host will at some point be like, oh no, you guys will never know what just happened because I never recorded it. I sat down, I put my phone up, and I grabbed a microphone and I just started talking. I didn't even pretend to press either button of the microphone button or the regular button. I just was sitting here talking for 10 minutes and I kept looking at the timer. I guess I can't really see it that well, but it looked like I was like, oh, I got time. It's I see a lot of zeros over there. I don't know why that just happened. And it was it's kind of cliche to say it, but I was spitting out some gold. I had this Mytheresa, I think I just passed her. It's Zoey says episode 10, I'm making these shits faster. I kept saying that, but it's okay. I can just say the same things that I said earlier. It's Zoey says episode 10. As you guys saw in the last episode, I was on vacations. And it was a good time. In the moment, I was probably not super happy about being on vacation because I was and I was had high expectations. You know, for some reason I thought I was going to get off the plane. There was going to be a parade. We were going to go shop. People would start throwing, I thought it was going to be a whole thing, but it was just a relaxed weekend, on the beach, with some friends, with my family, with my sister, my dad, Marissa, my friends, and my grandparents, my grandma, and this guy. And yeah, I was probably being a little bit negative because I had high expectations. I was really excited, but I am actually grateful, and I'm grateful that I'm back. I think a lot of it was feeling ugly. I was talking about this in the episode I just recorded, but I actually didn't press record on anything. I feel in Chicago, I'm a little bit more. I feel more attractive. I feel I get to walk on a runway when I leave the house. In Florida, I feel everyone's tan, blonde, sexy, and yeah, that's that was a big thing. Was everyone's very maybe attractive, or they're very very old, and they're just looking for someone that's younger, but not as young as me, and maybe blonde, and with a lot of Botox filler, perhaps. Is what they're looking for. That's more the type there. So I was just not that I was really looking for anyone to seduce. I think I just wanted to be beautiful. And you know what? Beauty is so soul. It's so your soul. It's nothing beyond that. But today I've actually been so inspired. I feel I needed to take a couple days off, and I came back strong, healthy, and going. Last night we went out to Charlie's late night bar, Latin night. There was Latin sexy men. Everyone was dancing. I only knew a couple of the songs. They would play they were playing reggaeton, Carly Rae Jepsen. And then it was more reggaeton. And then it was what's that girl's name? Ellie Goulding. It was a little bit inconsistent. It was DJ XXXX Ecstasy. That was what he always kept saying. But it was actually super fun. When you go out with your friends, I feel what's really important is you create a foundation of plans to go off of. You're getting laid, I'm gonna dance. Or let's both get laid. No, I'll get laid, you dance, and we can catch up later. And it's good to set it down so no one gets embarrassed. Because last night it was very much we stepped inside and my friend gets seduced and I'm just gonna dance. And I actually had a lot of fun. I just wish everyone knew it. Everyone knew, I'm not getting seduced tonight. You know, don't even try it. No one was. But, if someone were potentially, wanting to seduce me, I would have said, I'm dancing tonight. If you want to seduce someone, seduce my friend. I'm here to dance. So, I actually had a lot of fun. So, it's so exciting to be back. I what I want to make a formal apology. I want to get into some of these grievances. So as you guys know, I was in Florida and I was like kind of not, I was sort of like ungrateful for the fact that I had a grandmother. Some people don't have grandmothers, or like maybe their grandmother's like is like non-binary, so it's like they don't really have like they just have a grand, a grand them slash other. But I was going out to last night. Okay, let me back up. Last night I wore a tank top and a tight skirt. I saw my manager on the street. He goes, "Oh, you got your chi-chis out tonight." And I was like, "Oh no, I don't have my chi-chis. I mean, I guess like my boobs sit up kind of high, but I mean, I don't have my chi-chis out. I'm just wearing a tank top. It's hot outside. You will not believe how moist it was in these. I don't know how they don't have black mold at these clubs." Especially at Charlie's, I could barely breathe. I felt like I was in a dryer, like because I was just spinning and fog everywhere. That's besides the point. I was a swamp ass, crazy swamp ass. That's also why I had to leave because I felt like I was just dripping swamp ass over everybody. I wanted to be more safe. But anyways, I saw my manager randomly. He commented on my outfit. That same outfit I wore in Florida with my grandma, my family, and we were all just gonna go get Mexican. So I wore that outfit, just a tank top and a skirt. And I asked him, when I wore that, my grandmother told me to change, and I got so offended by it because I don't really think about I don't have to think about what's appropriate to wear, what's not appropriate to wear in my day-to-day life. I just wear what I want to wear, because it's not like I work in like an office where it's business attire. And I'm not around like people who are super offended by tight clothing or like low fitted clothing. But so I just hadn't considered that. And I was really offended when she asked me to change. So I ended up just like, for the rest of the trip, there was a lot of tension. And I kind of just like stayed in my room and kind of stayed away from her. I didn't even go to dinner that night. I just said, I'm not going to dinner. And I locked myself in my room, sort of. But my manager was like, that's not appropriate for around your grandma. He's like more like, I don't know. He's maybe a little bit more conservative, but I can take what he says and I can take it as a grain of salt and understand it as a grain of salt, but also as like a big old elephant too, like both sides of the spectrum. So I want to apologize to my grandma for actually being so sensitive about that. It actually didn't matter what I wore. Next thing is toilet paper. I'm out of toilet paper. Big grievance. Toilet paper is hard. It's a big thing. You have to get it from a store, take it home. Big package, huge package. And it depends how much you get. I always get the store brand, the Target brand, maybe a big one, maybe a small one. I get toilet paper sometimes, and it doesn't last me very long. But right now, what I'm using are paper towels. And one time, I was dog sitting at this person's house. And they had 2 dogs and like 3 cats and like 3 fish and like a rat problem. And there was just poop everywhere. All the way, like upstairs, there was poop all over the carpet. So what I would do is I would pick up the poop with paper towels and I would flush it down the toilet with paper towels. And it really clogged their pipes. They like had to get like a full new system or something. Like they sold their house. I don't think that's actually true, but like I was never invited back, which was fine because they did not pay me very well. And if I had someone, and another grievance that I have is being mad at friends, but I can't talk about it on here because I'm sure they'll watch it and they're going to be like, oh, so she's mad at me and she's just talking about it behind my back. She won't say it to my face. So maybe I'm just like, I grieve the fact that I'm kind of a coward, but also the fact that like I really want this to be private. And like it could easily very much be private, but like it's sort of a double-edged sword that I'm working with and I'm experienced. So, a couple positives. I want to kind of think about more positive stuff. My nails are red. I've never done red nails before. I did them last night. They're like a kind of coral, and they're kind of like they're red, but they're coral at the same time. And I like the color. I think it's bold. It's summer. Cherries falling from the sky into my mouth. Oh, there's a seed in it. No. Next would be my really crazy stool. I was writing this morning, and I like hate talking about poop, but I had been constipated for a long time. So to finally see something that is that's like I had to like stand up. Like it was like fully like it was over a foot long. It was very, very large. Just like a thin, really, really big. I'd never seen something like that. I didn't know how I could create something like that. And it came out like butter. So I'm glad I didn't have to use my non-existent toilet paper, and I was at a public place so I could use the real toilet paper. And then I'm also glad to be back home and to be amongst friends and amongst positivity. So thank you so much. This was Zoey Says episode 10. My quote of the day is, Miss Aretha, I think I just passed her. Zoey Says episode 10. Let's make this faster. Okay. That was nice. That was good. Woo!
If you're really smart, you'll do what Zoey says. Hey!